nice out there. That was a lovely tribute. It's lovely to see you all here as well, and to all of you at home, good morning to see you here. So if you would please stand with us and sing our first song, God Is All There Is, by Eddie Watkins Jr.
1, 2, 3, 4.
If you would please now join us in our statement of faith, all together now. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. Please join us in Daniel Nahmod's Yes, I Am.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I am here to serve. Yes, I am here to be the love of God. Yes, I am here
be seated.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. About 45 minutes ago, it became spring. And are we happy to see that? We welcome spring. Good morning to everyone that's sitting here in the room. And we also say good morning to our watchers on our live stream. Please check in on Facebook and tell your friends that you're right here. And then please silence, mute, or turn off your phone. Please join me in our mission statement. Our mission statement is to encourage and inspire spiritual and personal growth by empowering each other to be authentically all that we came here to be. The sanctuary flowers this morning were provided by Lisa Landrigan in celebration of Amy and Lisa's 17th anniversary, and they are beautiful. Please join me in speaking the affirmation for today's daily word. I plant seeds of positivity and harvest joy. Every gardener knows that blooms grow best in good soil. Even before planting, it's a good practice to pull the weeds and prepare the soil, giving the seeds the optimal conditions in which to grow. Today, I tend the garden of my consciousness. I pull the weeds of worrisome and unforgiving thoughts by denying they have any power over me. I create a fertile environment for new, positive thoughts to grow through regular prayer and meditation. When I touch that place of infinite stillness and peace, I affirm wholeness, prosperity, happiness, and security for my life. Like bright, beautiful flowers, these positive thoughts bloom and grow in my consciousness. The scripture is Philippians 4:8, if you'll please join me. Whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable. Think about these things. And please join me again. We'll repeat the affirmation. I plant seeds of positivity and harvest joy. During prayer and meditation, please hold the following in prayer for their highest and best experience of life. Serena and family, Rod, Angie, Sally, Clay, Nancy, Kim, Edna, Susan, Mandy, Mary Lou, Paul, Sharon's mama, Liddell, and anyone for whom you wish us to share with you in prayer. We also affirm peace for the people of the Ukraine. We remember Mary Mantle and her family following the transition of her husband, Bob. We also remember Paula Reeves following the sudden transition of her brother. As the prayer bowl rings, we turn our attention within to our heart space, preparing for prayer and meditation. As we follow the vibration and the sounds of the prayer bowl, we begin our prayer and meditation by focusing on our breathing. Take a deep breath in, hold, exhale. Focus your thoughts on the breath. Take a deep breath in, hold, exhale. Again, take a deep breath, hold, exhale. As we prepare for prayer and meditation, we begin by relaxing our bodies. Starting at the top of your head, relaxing the forehead, cheeks, jaws, ears. Follow your relaxation down your neck and shoulder, arms, elbows, wrists, and fingers. Deep breath, hold, exhale. Focusing on the heart center, bless your body. Be grateful for every cell, every function, every movement, every breath. Relax the lower back and thighs, knees, calves, ankles, feet, and toes. Focus on the breath. Inhale, exhale. For the persons on the prayer list, for ourselves, our loved ones, friends, for everyone, everywhere, we affirm health and healing in mind, body, and spirit. We affirm prosperity and abundance, guidance and peace, peace of mind for all. We see peace on earth between family members, friends, neighbors, between people with differing beliefs regarding religion and spirituality, inclusivity, history, and boundaries. Though we may in our humanness find that portions of the following are difficult, we set our intent to do it anyway. We send love and peace to Ukraine and its people. We send love and peace to Russia and its people. We send love and peace to the entire world. We visualize countries laying down their weapons and celebrating life and love. We visualize families reuniting with joy and gratitude. Life is good for all. We continue to feel the presence of the divine Spirit. As we now move into meditation, we breathe even deeper and surrender our will to God's will for us. Today's topic is divine inheritance. As a child of God, each and every one of us inherit from our living, loving Father, God. The inheritance comes in many, many aspects. But this morning, I'm going to focus on peace. First, peace of mind. Where in our thoughts, what people in our lives are we finding discord? Discord within our families, our friends, neighbors, co-workers, those of different spiritual beliefs or political beliefs. Take a breath and send love and peace to all those in our lives and around the world. And now we spread that peace out to encompass our entire country and all nations, all people, no matter our differences. In Matthew 5:43-44, Jesus said, "You have heard that it was said, 'Love your neighbor and hate your enemy.' But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." So in this time of silence and the meditation, please bring to mind anyone, any nation, any belief that causes you discord, causes you unease, and send love, peace, understanding to everyone in in the silence.
So this is an interesting little song I wasn't familiar with. I'm not sure many of us were. It's called The Art of Letting Go by Fia Forstrom. And Ms. Carrie Bashirs will be singing it for us.
The more I struggle and fight, trying to get it all right, I push away the very thing I want, thinking it's all up to me, deciding how it will be, forgetting that I'm guided by the one. The more I struggle and fight, trying to get it all right, I push away the very thing I want, thinking it's all up to me, deciding how it will be, forgetting that I'm guided by the one. So I forgive myself over again, 'cause I'm doing the best I can. And there are no mistakes, I learn every day, and the universe is showing me the way. But sometimes the egoic mind is strong in making me blind. I run around believing all the lies, when choosing love over fear, a lens that's so bright and clear. All is here, there's nothing to be found. So I forgive myself over again, 'cause I am doing the best I can. There are no mistakes, I learn every day, and the universe is showing me the way. And I'm giving up the need to know it all before. I am mastering the art of letting go. Yes, I was put here for a reason. I feel it in my bones. There's a purpose on this earth for my soul. And I forgive myself over again, 'cause I'm really doing the best I can. There are no mistakes, I learn every day, and the universe is showing me the way. Yes, I forgive myself over again, 'cause I am doing the best I can. There are no mistakes, I learn every day, and the universe is showing me the way. Yeah, the universe is showing me the way. Oh, the universe is showing me
stick. Oh. Good morning. And good morning out there in TV land. Welcome each and every one of you. I'm going to be using this stand, and I'm going to take the first story from this little book called A Time to Laugh, and the bigger title is Grandpa Was a Preacher. This book was given to us by my mother back in 1991. A long time ago. Does it look the same to you?
Oh, yeah.
How many of you were here when there were pews out there? Several of you. I don't know when the pews were put in there, but there were pews there when he first came here in 1971. And this is my husband, Reverend Les McClelland. I don't think he needs an introduction, but at the same time, he came here in August of 1971 when he was ordained by Unity, and had an agreement with the board that he could start a class and develop a ministry in Joplin. And so he founded the church in Joplin. A year later, he was there full-time, and about 3 years after that, we met.
Yeah.
And have been together 47 years. So here we are.
It's been an interesting journey.
Some things you sign up for, you don't realize it until later. And it's too late. Too late to redo. If you've read that little book, What Treasure Mapping Can Do For You, you understand how we got together. Probably. But this little story, Grandpa Was a Preacher. A young minister, pretty long on practicality, preached a sermon in a village church. And he hoped to be called to that pulpit. So he wanted to do his best. Later, the officials met with him to question his abilities. And to make sure that they got an educated man, they got the help of a public school teacher, and they worked on a few questions together. Now, the lead man on this question time had an air of scholarship, and he began with the question, "Preacher, would you say a hen sets or sits?" The young sage from the hills answered, "I don't care whether she sits or sets. What I'm interested in is when she cackles, is she laying or lying?" There were no more questions. And he got the job. In life, sometimes we have a tendency to not be aware, actually, of where our consciousness really is. The raw material and the ability to develop a Christ consciousness is our divine inheritance.
And that's a subject we're going to be exploring this morning, and we want to take you along on that journey. If you read the New Testament, particularly the life of Jesus, you will discover a very interesting thing, and that is that Jesus only praised two people in the Bible. Only two. Out of all that he came in contact with, there were only two people that he really praised. Even more interesting is that they were both Gentiles. None of them were Jews, either one of them. The centurion, whose servant was extremely ill, sent some Jewish elders to ask for Jesus to come and heal his servant. Jewish elders, when they arrived to ask Jesus to assist in this, told Jesus that they were very impressed about this centurion. Even though he wasn't a Jew, he had actually built the synagogue that they worshipped in. The second one was a woman. Now, during that period of time, women were not considered too highly on the level of of interest and all of that.
Still aren't.
Still working on that. She said her daughter was demon-possessed, I think was the term that they used. They don't know if it was a mental thing or a physical thing, but she was in a lot of pain. And, suffering is suffering, and the daughter became healed. Jesus never turned anyone away. Anybody who was seeking improvement and growth was a person that he was willing to spend time with.
And that is Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness is treating all people the same. We are all Christs. We are all Christs. Some of us may be on the 5-year plan to develop Christ consciousness. Some of us may be on the 20-year plan to develop Christ consciousness. Some of us may be on the lifetime plan.
That's where I'm at.
Consciousness. But we all have the same potential. The Christ teachings present a truth that basically states the blessings of life are available to anyone who develops the ability to accept the responsibility for their presence. It takes some responsibility here. It's possible for anyone and everyone to enjoy the real blessings of life, though many are not willing to develop the consciousness. We have to do the work. Many of the blessings of life are able to be enjoyed without developing the consciousness to do so. Many people believe that, but it takes the work. The consciousness must be cleansed from limited beliefs, a firm commitment to an interchange, and living in this world doesn't help any. If we look at the news, there's all sorts of negativity that comes our way. If we are aware of what's going on in the world, there's a lot of reason to be negative, except that we have to make the inner changes if we're going to experience Christ consciousness. Change, inner commitment, and inner change is often necessary to remove restrictive ideas and conditions. We must do the work. And I think some of you are probably wondering why we're both up here. We were asked to do the service, and Les was asked to do it at first, and he says, can we do it like we did in Lindenwood? 2 of our best friends in the whole world are sitting right down here, and they were in our congregation for 24 years. She wrote our checks every month for 24 years. We loved her then, and we love her now. So Sue Golden and Denny Golden are 2 of our best friends, were in our church in Northern Illinois for 24 years and saw us speak at the lectern and the podium most every Sunday of that 24 years when they were there and we were there.
In life, when we're talking about divine inheritance and Christ consciousness here this morning, and in our life, we have a lot of examples of how to live life and how not to live life. And there are results on both ends of the spectrum for either perspective we choose to hold. Some of the most successful men, in my opinion, if you look back over the history of our country, individuals that are like Edison, Ford, the founder of the Ford Corporation, who continues to make automobiles today. Roosevelt, one of our past presidents of this country. Carnegie, who went about the business of helping build libraries across the United States. There are a host of others that we could list. They have all made one interesting statement if you explore and take a look at what they were all about. What they said was that what brought them happiness was the work in which they participated, and how their success in life was the result of the love and the commitment they put into it. Money was not an issue. It wasn't the focus of their life. Fame, didn't care about it. It happened, but it wasn't their focus. Luxury was not a goal of theirs. They were not interested in that. What was really of interest to them was the work that they were doing and the impact it had the capability of generating in their world. The work itself is what brought them joy. And you think about that. The work that you do is the vehicle through which the joy you seek emerges. Napoleon Hill, in a book that he wrote called The Laws of Success, he stated that the most successful men and women on earth have had to correct certain weak spots in their personality before they began to actually succeed in life. It's true. You have, I have, Pat has, we all have within us everything to experience the fullness of life. The infinite riches of life are here with us right now. Wherever we go, wherever we travel, wherever we live, the infinite presence of life is available. You never can escape from it. It's always with you. However, the potential for that presence must become transformed from potential into what I will call cultivated capability. Now think about this. The Christ teachings indicate that the values and the blessings of life are literally determined by the quality of the consciousness through which they become expressed. If we compare this idea to light, let's use that analogy here this morning, we can readily see that when a beam of light flows through a colored lens, what happens to it? It becomes transformed into the color of the lens through which it flows. So too is this true of our own life. The blessings of God here with us here this morning are in our life today. However, until we develop a lens, a consciousness through which is able to flow, it will never be there. It's there, but the lens transforms it into something else. This is one of the messages contained in the parable of the wineskins. When you think about it, know about that parable? I think we all do. The wineskin is important because it is the vessel through which the wine is able to be preserved. But if the vessel is not maintained and taken care of, when you pour wine into it, what happens? According to the parable, it doesn't stay there. The wineskin breaks. It requires maintenance. A new vessel into which the wine can flow is required in order for the wine to be preserved.
This is also reflected in the story of the prodigal son as well. The one son was ready to live life fully with gusto. He thought he was being held back. This he did only to realize. He went, took his inheritance, and realized after he spent most of his inheritance that what he thought was missing in life was really right back home. And he went back home. This is further reinforced by the fact that in the Old Testament, the perception of God is anger and jealousy and vengeance and destruction and separation.
In the New Testament is radically different. We see Jesus bringing forth an image of God as a loving, caring presence. His understanding of God was that of a father who cared for him, not a father who was dictating to him. We're introduced to a God that is forgiving, compassionate, and experiencing the essence and the presence of life fully and completely. It's only possible, think about this, it's only possible to return home as the prodigal son desired to do when we yield to the blessings that have always been there. The blessings you seek are present, like the wineskins. We must have a newly transformed vessel through which the wine can flow.
Interesting song that Carrie sang, because we have to let go of some things. We have to let go of limited beliefs. We have to let go of negativity. We have to let go of a lot of things, and that song was so appropriate for today. Thank you, Carrie, for singing that. Our inheritance from God, the divine ideas that find expression, and the expression forms what man calls good in our lives, and back of that expression is the idea that comes from our consciousness. And if that consciousness is not pure and clean and geared toward the Christ consciousness, then our divine inheritance will be limited, like the light flowing through a colored lens. Our divine inheritance is not of this world, but it can be developed, experienced, enjoyed, and shared in this world. And that's why we're here. Our divine inheritance comes forth as we awaken to the truth, with a capital T, with the tools that we have, that we talk about all the time in Unity, such as denials and affirmations, and all those things that we talk about. We have the commitment, and we do the work. We fashion those divine ideas into a life of service, peace, purpose, order, and love.
And one of the interesting things about that to me is the fact that we never qualify whether somebody should experience the blessings that we're here to give. No one needs to qualify for it. We are children of God, all of us. Now, sometimes children of God misbehave. Have you ever misbehaved? Never.
John says no.
It's wonderful that we have forgiveness, isn't it? Misbehaving is nothing more than an activity that is misdirected. The same life force in the presence of God within the misbehaving individual is able to transform once that person reaches that point where they desire something better than what they have, and what they've been doing is not working because it's causing so much discomfort that they are driven to make a change. That's what happens for all of us. We don't enjoy what we're going through. We try to figure out what's going on. The mistake often we make is that we look to the person we think that's causing the pain, and we say, you got to change, when we're the one that's up for the change. Ernest Wilson, who was a long-time minister of Unity on the Plaza in Kansas City, Missouri, he wrote a book. He wrote a number of things, but one of them was on prosperity. It's called Adventures in Prosperity. He says, any man working with God and thus making God's powerful presence available through his life has unlimited power. Not just a little bit, but has unlimited. The word man is used as referring to mankind, not as a gender, but mankind itself. He says the relationship or the getting old is not when you reach a point where you know what the word is, realization, and you're coming up with relationship, I guess they're related, but they're just a little different.
They start the same.
Yeah, this realization, Mr. Wilson said, was the secret, in his opinion, of the amazing power that Jesus demonstrated. He acted not from himself, but from God. He was loving, unselfish, and believe it or not, unafraid. Such a life experience is yours and mine and Pat's and your partner in life and your friends and your neighbors and your families. It's true for all of us. And when we're ready, please hear me, when we're ready to accept the divine inheritance that God has provided for us, guess what? It appears.
How do we begin cultivating the required consciousness for the expression of our divine inheritance? We begin to actively love. We love what we do in life. We do not establish as our goal the achievement of fame and fortune. Instead, we allow the full weight of our love to influence our every thought, word, and deed. And unless we are in control of those things, we won't be in control of our consciousness, thought, word, and deed. In so doing, then we experience abundant life.
So in bringing our presentation to a close this morning, it's only the beginning of a future for all of us. You know, there's never a time in which we are not afforded the opportunity to experience the fullness of life. So it's our prayer and our fervent hope that each and every one of you experience the revelation that allows, the love, the peace, and the abundance of God's blessings to flow through you. May your lens become clear, and may the glory of God's presence appear in your life today. God bless you all. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you. Do you need help?
Yeah, I need a lot of help.
Go ahead. Thank you. I'm just giving you a chance to take out your wallets and write your checks. It is that time in our service when we can barely give a token that represents our gratitude for all our blessings that are uncountable and infinite. And for that we give thanks. There are several ways that you can give: through Tithely, through unityofspringfield.org, and you can write a check and mail it to the church at 2214 East Seminole, and the zip is 65804. Please join me in our affirmation. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Carrie took the checkbook away from me a long time ago. I'm not allowed to write a check. So it's kind of sad. So once again, we have Ms. Carrie Brashear singing Alanis Morissette's Thank You.
How about getting off of these antibiotics? How about stopping eating when I'm full up? How about them transparent, dangling carrots. How about that ever elusive kudos? Thank you, India. Thank you, terror. Thank you, disillusionment. Thank you, frailty. Thank you, consequence. Thank you, silence. How about me not blaming you for everything? How about me enjoying the moment for once? How about how good it feels to finally forgive you? How about grieving it all one at a time? Thank you, India. Thank you, terror. Thank you, disillusionment. Thank you, frailty. Thank you, consequence. Thank you, silence. The moment I let go of it was the moment I got more than I could handle. The moment I jumped off of it was the moment I touched down. How about no longer being masochistic? How about remembering your divinity? How about unabashedly bawling your eyes out? How about not equating death with stopping? Thank you, India. Thank you, Providence. Thank you, disillusionment. Thank you, nothingness. Thank you, clarity. Thank you, silence. Yeah. Ooh, oh, oh, ooh, oh, oh, yeah. Oh, oh,
Thank you, Carrie. Hey. I already got my checkbook privileges taken away. What do I got left to lose? What do I got left to lose, Les? So mat making will continue on Thursdays from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. and on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Please continue bringing your bags. And if you have questions about mat making, please see Susan Dempsey. If you can't find her, just follow the sound of the laughter. All right. In Ozark, they're like, she's over there. Also, the mat makers invite you to stay after church today for a bag angel party. We will be straightening, cutting, and looping bags for all of the weavers, and there will be lunch for those participating. Everyone is welcome. So next week, March 27th at 9:15, in the New Thought and World Religions class, Teresa Amezcua will be speaking on self-observation by Red Hawk. Now, a time-long celebration of life will be held on April 2nd at 1 p.m. There will be coffee, cookies, and more in the fellowship hall after the service. If you're willing to bring cookies or a fruit tray, please see Stella in the foyer. Stella, is that a Ramon song or the class? Stella in the foyer? No, maybe not. Maybe not. Sue is teaching a credit class titled Self-Care and Life Balance beginning Wednesday, April 6th and ending May the 4th. That's from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. All are welcome, and those taking the class for credit to become a licensed Unity teacher, the cost is $10 per class. For everyone else, a suggested love offering of $10 per class is suggested. There are 2 books that are required, and Sue has ordered 15 used copies of each of these. They are $10 a piece. Bucks, not box. $10 each. The class will be in person, and it will be live online. And if you would like to pre-order a Planet Unity t-shirt, the sign-up sheets are in the foyer next to Stella, apparently. There is a Planet Unity planning meeting following the service. And now we have an announcement from Mary Hilsebeck-Huber.
Good morning. Good morning. So, coming up in conjunction with the Planet Unity is our annual yard sale. We are going to reduce, reuse, recycle, all of those wonderful things that no longer bring you joy, bring them in. Somebody will come along and go, oh my gosh, I was looking just for that. So start bringing your stuff in. The sale itself is April the 23rd and 24th. That's Friday and Saturday. And we are going to start setting up on the 17th. The 17th, I recognize that that's Easter Sunday, but after the service, the sanctuary is going to be magically transformed. We're going to take all the chairs, put tables up. Just all we're doing is bringing all the stuff in and bringing it and putting it in the sanctuary. That's what. So, as many of you as can stay on Easter Sunday after the Easter egg hunt, and just help us do that. That would be great. We're going to have people here all week long to set up. We are not pricing things, which I know nobody likes pricing. Nobody likes that. So this is great. It worked out last year. Somebody came up with the great idea to just have a love offering for everything. And we can always use a snowblower. Absolutely. But it worked wonderfully. I mean, people came in, people were generous. And so we're just setting everything up. We put everything together and make it nice and neat. And so all throughout the week before that, we're going to need people to set up. We also are going to need to bring your treasures in, and we're going to be putting them in this back classroom back here in the hallway. There's a big classroom right back there on the right, and we're going to be putting all the things in there for right now. We're not using any really large furniture items. Couches, love seats, things like that, beds. We're not accepting any of those things because they're really difficult to get rid of if we can't sell them. No clothes at this one. We'll have clothes at the one in June. So, but chairs, any kind of chairs, small tables, small dressers, things like that. Those are great. And like I said, any of your items, clean out your garages and your junk room that's collecting all of the stuff that you don't know what to do with. We've got a place for you to put that. I really, really encourage you to come and help us set up and help us with this. These are the events. This is my favorite thing. These are the events where people go from seeing each other in the sanctuary and becoming friends. This is where I now know, because Christy volunteered at the shelter, and all of these people are when you volunteer, that's when you get to know people, and that's when you become friends and you really make those connections. So I really highly recommend you come and just help us with this sale. That, plus you get first dibs on all the stuff that comes in. My wife has already told me if I bring something home, I have to take something back. So yeah, but you get free dibs. So clean out your closets and bring all your good stuff. Thanks.
Thank you, Mary. It is a wonderful opportunity to make friends or frenemies, Mary. You're welcome. If you would please stand and join us in Unity's prayer for protection. Together now. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever please join us in Cy Miller's peace song, Let There Be Peace on Earth. Enjoy this wonderful spring day. We'll see you next week.